Okay, so I just want to throw this in because I found it interesting. I thought maybe people might like it too. So in terms of black sheep, I was just Googling it. So this is really simple, Google. Being a black sheep has correlations with, oh no, is it working? Okay. I don't know if I'll end it early because my internet is very bad right now. It's just not working. Okay, so when it comes to the black sheep archetype, I saw that there's like kind of like an interchange? No, that's not the word. Replacement? I don't know. So the word identified patient is also used for therapy, but also can be the black sheep of the family. So here's what happens. I'm just going to read it and then I'll talk about it some more. It's from the Encyclopedia of Couple and Family Therapy. I didn't read the whole thing. I just read this part, okay? So the concept is identified patient in family systems theory. The synonyms are identified problem, IP, scapegoat, symptom bearer. So think about it in terms of therapy, okay? So the term identified patient or IP is used to describe the person in a family who has brought the family into therapy. While this individual is often unconsciously selected as the cause of family conflict or the one about whom others are mostly concerned or focus their attention, his or her problems frequently disguise larger issues within the family. Rather than working solely with the IP, a family systems approach maintains that the identified problem or person is a manifestation of systems issues and all family members should participate in treatment together. This is huge, okay? Huge. Big. So big. What it means is the person who's the black sheep is a reflection of the family. People don't want to think that there's anything wrong with them. They'd rather project all that bullshit onto someone else. So subconsciously, everyone in the family picks one person, be like, you're the troublemaker. You're the burden. You're the one that's messed up. You're the one who's not successful. You're the problem. You're going to be the problem because I don't want to deal with any of my problems. And it happens so commonly in many, many families. Family systems not coping with whatever happens, traumas, griefs, losses, so much problems, right? So many problems. And that's what happens. You redirect all that unconsciously. So this is, again, unconsciously onto someone else. And so that person instead goes to therapy. It's usually a child. It's usually someone who has like maybe a vulnerability, a disability, someone who's, already quote unquote different in some way or weaker because of age. And you don't have a choice. You take the role because everyone in your family told you that you're the problem. You're the black sheep. And you inherit that role. So you end up being the problem child or going to therapy. Not fun. Or you don't get help and you just struggle for the rest of your life. I'm just going to share this stuff because I'm sure. This is the thing though, like the identified patient, I work with gamers. So a lot of identified patients are the kids who are struggling to launch into adulthood. You graduate high school or go to college, graduate college. You don't know what to do with your life. Your family doesn't know how to support you because you are different in some way. You have different passions, different ways of learning. Instead of learning how to support you, they will double down on treating you like a problem. That doesn't make it better. It makes it worse. But people are human and we sometimes don't know what to do. We don't know what we don't know, right? And so I'm just naming these processes for people to feel like there could be a potential here and it does happen. So please be kind to yourself. It could be happening. And again, people don't do this on purpose. I don't think they do. Alrighty. So because of what we said about the identified patient stuff, right? Being the black sheep, you either take the role because you are young and think you're responsible for other people's hardships. This is so sad and something that many times happens to a lot of people where you feel like your parents' emotions, I'm going to just throw out parents, it could be anyone really in their family. Your parents are not able to deal with their emotions or pain And so as a child, you feel like, oh, I have to do something to be perfect for them, or I have to, I'll take the burden. I'll want to try and fix it, because you care about them. They're your caregivers, and you feel like you owe them in some way, right? Because you're a child. And so because of that, you may inherit the role because they don't want to work through their stuff, right? It reminds me of like, I don't want to hit too home for so many people, but like, you ever see very chaotic divorces and there's a child in the middle and they're being pulled back and forth? So instead of couples who are learning how to navigate their divorce and parent their child respectfully and kindly, they end up arguing or labeling their child as a problem child, and the child starts acting out, right? And so the original problem is the couple relationship is not working anymore. That's the problem. But instead of acknowledging that and healing that, they ended up redirecting all of that focus to sabotage their child. Their child's stunted now. Their child's having problems at school. The child's like trying to get a need met, but they're now just seen as a problem, which is very sad. It happens. And again, the role is given to you because you're small and powerless. That's what tends to happen in systems where there's a minority or a type of person who's less powerful. And this is a dynamic, again, of adults and children. You could have disabled people in here too, people who are a little bit different. You throw that in and you're seen as the problem because everyone else we're normal. Everyone else is fine. Obviously, there's something wrong with the person that just came here, which is like a child, and you start treating them like a problem, and then there you go. It repeats and repeats and repeats. So these are unconscious patterns. People do not do it on purpose. This is just human patterns that tend to happen. Okay. It's a pattern that family systems therapists have noted in their research. And so there's names for it. Your identified patient. Well, that means your family was quote unquote dysfunctional. You're just the symptom. Like you are the manifestation of the things underneath the iceberg that people are not ready to show. So family therapy is very important, but most of the time people don't seek it out. So that's another side note though. Like you can heal your family stuff in relationships. I just want to give you hope here, okay? It doesn't have to heal within the family itself if that's where the stuff is coming from. So yeah, vulnerable members of a system can become the black sheep. And look how cute that kitty is. So cute, little toe beans. So cute. Okay, so here's a note on archetypes and identity. There's a lot to go through here. It's a lot of work. So I'm just kind of I just threw stuff on here. I don't know where you're going to start. You can go anywhere really, but it's an internal process. It's an internal process of reflecting on who you are, a lot of these things that you don't have control over, and just seeing where it takes you. Just honoring how you observe stuff really helps you grow in terms of dealing with stress and just learning to cultivate self-acceptance for what you cannot change. And that's the win. You want to win by having mastery over your emotions, knowing when it's okay to like let it loose, and also knowing when to be like, you know what, that wasn't actually worth getting upset over. It's just something that happened in my past, and now all of the consequences here. That's how it's led up to who I am, and so it's part of you. So acknowledge the roles. I should have put roles. These roles are given to you without control, and we continue these roles for survival. That's the big part of like growing up in a family system. Yeah, my internet sucks today. I'm getting a little frustrated because I doubt that there's going to be a replay. I already know that I already know I'm going to get cut off in the recording. I'm feeling kind of like sad right now because I put in so much work to make these presentations, and then because of the internet, I can't control this because of the internet. Now I won't be able to upload it and have people listen to me. I mean, I can do it again. It's just, I don't want to do it again. Okay, that's okay. So we continue these rules for survival, and that's something that happens for everybody, all right? You're born into this world, you're in the family systems or communities that you're in, and these unconscious patterns start coming up, happening, dynamics start reinforcing an archetype that you have, maybe not. And so you start repeating certain roles because you're a kid. You want acceptance. You want to be loved. You want your parents to like you, right? Or at least you want to belong in some way, right? And so we do these things. And for everyone, it's different, but this is specifically about the black sheep, right? So again, it's about survival. It's a survival type of archetype. And then they repeat in environments and with people that remind you of your past. And so again, put the antenna on. Let me do two. Put the antenna on. What are the dynamics that you're acting out again? Who are the type of people that remind you of early patterns? Is it a good pattern? Is it something that you can work through to become stronger, better version of you, heal in some way? Gotta think about that and consider creating and finding new environments and people who will honor all parts of you. Because again, growing up in survival mode, you're only allowed to show certain archetypes, which meant a lot of archetypes inside of you are being quieted and silenced, or they're just hiding. They're like waiting for their time to shine, but we don't know sometimes until we just be curious about honoring that. And you have to practice being authentic, knowing it will take time, hiccups, and self-compassion. You got to be kind to yourself. I will say that till the end of my life. Be kind to yourself. And bravery. So you are more than the roles you embodied to survive. Look to role models and heroes for new paths to take. Practice new roles, try, stop, and revisit. And it's just the constant over and over and over again. You have the gift and curse of the rest of your life to figure this out. It can be frustrating when you're ready to change, that you want to change really fast. So I want to just give you put the brakes on it. Change is slow. I remember trying to water a plant once. I use this metaphor of like, I don't know, no one is a gardener here, but let's say you water a plant, right? You dump like a whole gallon in this plant and you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm not going to water the plant for a whole month now. Like, that's not how it works, right? Just because you're ready and you dump all this information and knowledge and you're motivated, the change won't last just because you do it all at once. You have to spread it out. That's how habits form. Just like any habit, it's about just the gradual building up and integration to be more like that over time. So you got to go slow and you just got to be patient. Sorry, impatient people, you got to be patient.